Hello, hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia, and Marty, and Azalea. She's
Hi.
on the other side of the camera. Welcome to our Wednesday edition Magic Hour. And we are Greengirlstudios, and we are streaming live from Asheville, North Carolina. Hope everyone is staying warm today. We had a nice warm day, which was good because the snow melted. A lot of the snow melted. We had I don't know how many inches, but on the railing there's like this much, wasn't it? It's like that much at least.
Yeah, the
Pretty
other
good
day.
amount. I was pretty surprised at all the snow. We don't usually get that. Oh, hello, hello, Morphing Designs. Hello. I see Debbie Smith. Debbie says, "Good evening, everyone. Only have one eye today. The other had a cataract removed."
Oh man.
Yeah, uh, that sounds horrendous, but it's good you have the cataract removed. I just read an article about these eye drops that are supposed to clear your eyes, and my brother was telling me about them. It was pretty cool. I wonder if they'll invent something like that for the future where you don't have to have surgery. Pretty neat. All the technology that they have that they didn't have before. This Marty is wearing his piece. Our friends, we got this from. It's from Thailand. It's made out of silk. Our friends from Saki Silver. If you guys remember Saki Silver, our friend Liz Chum Tong used to go. I think she still goes to Thailand, and she used to bring back a lot of fiber type things. And this scarf I brought back for Greg. This cat kept taking it over and dragging it from a chair or wherever it was, and walking around with it in his mouth and meowing up and down the hallway. He likes it. So that's just like his thing. Oh, Karen says, Marty looks great with his new collar. That's, we call it his piece. Yeah, he is making sure. He's working extra hard today wearing that thing. He's like, can I take it off now, Ma? He's being very patient. He doesn't mind wearing it. Hello, hello. I see Cherie. And meow Marty, that's pretty cute. Nancy says, "Hi, Cynthia Nazella. Cold here in Pittsburgh. Think spring." We are. I was just thinking we need to get a new collar. I was going to crochet one. So I'm peering through my light situation to look at the comments. I have a bunch of, there's all the stands and things from light that I have to peer through. Oh, we are kind of coordinated today. I made this as kind of a goofy pattern, but it's made with a silk yarn that I got a long time ago when I was practicing my knitting. I was doing some lace knitting. It's really super soft, but it's a really impractical design where it's bound off. It kind of has a stiff bind off. Oh, I see Wendy. Wendy says, "Hi, ladies. How's your week going? Had an action-packed week." Action packed. And Morphing Design says, "Are you still snowed inside?" The snow melted today, but yesterday we have a really steep driveway. It's really steep, and we couldn't get the Toyota out, and so it's been sitting for a couple of days. But today, I think the snow had melted enough where we could get up the driveway. But now we're going to move it just in case, because we saw somebody said, "Oh, we're expecting more snow," and we went and took a ride today because almost 50 something degrees, and it wasn't snowing, but we got kind of this wet rain. I'm like, what's the wet rain that's kind of icy? I'm like, oh, sleet. I deal with it so seldomly that I cannot remember the words to what the weather is happening. I was like, oh, what's this? And it was kind of hard and cold to bike through. But it was a nice little bike ride through Carrier Park. What a good time. Very brief, though, because I was cold. Okay, well, we've done about 4 minutes so far. Just a quick reminder. Oh, Connie Crawford says, "We're in the 80s here in Arizona." That's good times. That's why there's snowbirds. My grandparents were snowbirds, and they, for some of the year, part of the year, they lived in Missouri. And then in the wintertime, they came down to Florida. That's what they called that, snowbirds back in the day. I don't know if they still call it. Michelle says it's 66 and sunny in Oakland. Good. What is it here today? 39. It's 39 degrees in Asheville. But it was up to 50 nearly. Up to 50 was really beautiful. So I thought today we could do a little bit of fun with the new kit, the Guy's Treasures. I thought, hey, you know what I like to do? And you guys have heard me talk about this a million times, but one of the things I like to do is make just little modular components. We won't do another thing. She just was like, we're not revisiting modular components after our like 6-week venture.
It was just a lot of episodes.
It was a lot of modular. She's like, no more, right, Marty? He's grimly waiting. I don't know. You think he's okay with that, Zoe?
I think he would wiggle more if he didn't like it, because he wiggles a lot when I try to kiss him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could get things off. Kind of crazy how warm it is. Is it scarf day? Connie says, yes, it's scarf day. Well, I made this and I haven't worn it in I don't know how many years. It's lace work. Azalea is a far and away better knitter than I ever was. I always wanted to knit where I could just go completely like for her, if I have a thing, I'm trying to get her to finish it for me, but it's like 2 sleeves worth of stockinette, and she's just like, I don't know about this, it's too boring. So.
Oh, you mean that thing you want me to finish for you?
Yeah.
I didn't know you still had.
Wendy says Marty's face looks extra kissable when he lays like that with the scarf smooching his face.
He's constantly kissable for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty kissable. He just got a bath, and he is extra fluffy. The house is full of cat hair because when they get a bath, all the hair is like it makes it extra like I don't know how to describe it. Hi to both the Connies. Hello, hello.
They smell like vanilla.
What am I wearing here? Oh, thank you. Hamlet says it's beautiful. You know, it's a pretty piece of knitwear, and it's kind of, I think the pattern was called something like, it's like lichen or something. It's kind of interesting. So I thought we could do 2 things. We could, number one, look at the Guy's Treasures and make some stuff, and we can finish off a crochet necklace. So I'm going to flip this around. Just a quick reminder before I flip, it's been about 7 minutes. I usually like to give people 8 or 9 minutes to join us before we really get cracking. Just a quick reminder that we have an in-person show on, it's like, what am I doing here? On the 7th and 8th, this weekend, we will be at the NC Arboretum. It's a really cool place if you haven't been. Beautiful, beautiful. I think usually there's a parking fee to get in. If you go in through the front, I think it's like $13. I can't remember. I mean, there's a few ways if you want to avoid it. Like some people park outside of it and hike in, but that's about from both places to hike in. The entrance is about a mile, and then the back entrance is about a mile if you came through that direction. But Sunday is the community free day, and so that'll be nice. We will be joined by 14 other vendors, artists that have kind of a botanical digging. Why do your paws digging me? Paws are digging me. Oh, thank you, Sherry. James says, Marty is so adorable. Sherry says, I would have no skin on my arms and hands. From him, like he's got like the aggressive big paw action. It's a good cat. All right, you've worn this long enough.
Wow.
Free at last. He said free. Now he can. It's so warm right here. But he loves that. He loves silk of any kind, and he loves dragging it through the house. It's also my favorite. Also my very favorite fiber. All right. Washing my cats would be a nightmare. Oh, I see. Yeah, Azalea has some puncture marks on her arm. I'm going to flip this camera around. It's time. It is time. All right, let me get in here a little bit tighter. I hope you guys don't mind the sound of my tank. I have a tank going, and I have the world's biggest snail in there. Oh, it's so crazy, this snail tank. And as I was like, why do we have this whole 20-gallon for one freshwater snail? And the snail could fit, like he's like this big. Would you say he's about that big in my palm, if you were to put him in my palm?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Actually, probably a little bit bigger if he were on there. He would be the size. I was just looking around, like, what would be the size of that snail? He's
That
a big
container
snail.
of beads is pretty close.
Oh, this container of beads is this a little bit larger. That snail's a little bit larger than that because I picked it up yesterday to look at it.
Picked up your
Plucked
snail.
him right out of the tank to see if it was still alive because I actually forgot to turn on the filter. I thought, oh man, this is going to be a problem, and it was fine.
He's a
They're
durable
very
snail.
durable snail. Wendy says, love the tank. Sounds like a small water fountain. I just saw while I was reading that, Morphing Design says, are you going to carve a snail clasp? And my brain got kind of frozen in imagining a snail clasp while thinking about how that's a water fountain. So that's pretty cool. I like that story. So this is what was the last of the, what's this one called? Guys Treasures?
Mm-hmm.
Don't splash. And I thought, so this is, I think it was just about 20 grams was in this. Just under 20 in this container. So, I'll put the container right here. Oh, I did a lot of play with resin. Let me show these before I do anything else. Check these guys out. Aren't these cool? Oh, Connie says, I purchased that pendant from you. Thank you. I appreciate it when people tell me they buy my stuff. And I love it, especially when I see it out in the world. One of the furthest foreign places, I was on vacation in Italy one time, and while I was roaming around Rome, I saw a gal wearing one of my pieces. And I wanted to track her down and say, hey, I carved that. But then I couldn't think of it. Like my Italian was not that great. So I didn't know how to say, hey, I carved that necklace because, it's kind of a strange thing to do. But I liked it. I was like, oh my gosh, here I am. I'm on the other side of the world. And then Sheree says, she goes, snail clasp with a leaf loop so he rests on it. That sounds cute. This is painted with the patina paints. I had another one. I don't know what I did with it. I did 4. I might have put it in my pocket. Check all my pockets. And I did opaque resin, or it's like slightly opaque. It's like opaly. It's not 100% opaque. It's slightly translucent. And I thought that looked good through on the back. This is more of the transparent type. Let's see, that's a little bit different. Gives it a little bit of kind of an interesting ceramic. I thought they looked like glass. And I think this will last. This is UV resin. And we kind of played with this the other day when we had a UV resin party on Sunday. So that was the outcome of these guys. Check this out. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I made this one with what I'm calling a mono, what did I call it? I have to find my notes. But, have you ever heard of mono prints where you make a print or a gel plate where you have one like silicone plate and you make a drawing or paint on it and then you put paper down on top and it's only one pull. So this was kind of similar. The way that I did this resin piece was one pull and you don't know how it's going to look. I was just being experimental. It's kind of like corn and a little bit like deer poop. So I know. Is that good? As I was like, leave that one home. But this side, look at this side. I was like, man, it looked like a shell. And when he says slightly looks like a turtleback, I made something that was like a turtleback earlier, but I thought, man, that thing looks cool. I was experimenting to get these kind of shapes to make what are called carbuncles. And it's basically a hollow cabochon. used mainly so you could put little rocks and things behind it. So I made a bunch of them. This is an experiment that me and Kinga are working on. Y'all know Kinga Bledsoe, the renowned seed bead embroidery artist. Anyway, we're working on a little project together, and I'm doing these experiments to make different kind of bezels. You know, and I got this light. Let me see. I have to get this to turn on. So I could make, that's a little too strong of a light. Maybe I can kind of control it a little bit. Like control that light, so it's not quite so right. Maybe a filter behind it, you know? Anyway, I wanted something that I could both put something on the other side. Yeah, this one's kind of interesting. It's kind of a bubble look. This one I did with like a crystal. I embedded a bunch of crystals, but you can't really tell. It's kind of a waste. Hey, I see our friend Ann. Becky Bokren does those prints. Yeah. Mono prints are kind of fun, but you know what? It's kind of hard for me because it's only making one. So that's the hard part. The other good part about that would be to then make another mold that is a permanent mold. I bought these lights. I thought that'd be kind of interesting. One reason is I got these crystals. They're old Swarovski crystals. And I wanted to make something where I could kind of experiment with putting them underneath. You know what I mean? Like some kind of, let's see if that will work. Oh, does it even show up? Oh, just an idea. You know how sometimes you just want to experiment and see what happens with different materials. Anyway, aren't these pretty? They don't have a hole. They used to be called, I don't know if this still applies, when they called it paste, because these are Austrian crystals. But boy, they are pretty. And strangely heavy. This thing, you wouldn't believe how heavy this is. It's so heavy. All right, that's some of that. My resin things. Pass those bracelets. Let's show. Azalea had some really pretty, some of these things I painted.
Some of these they've seen before.
It's okay.
But I have a couple new ones on the bottom today.
If you have any interest, how much are these? 30? Are they on the website, or you want to take orders?
They're on the website. I've been mostly just trying to crank them out. I've been putting them on my Depop. There's a couple of them that are not on there. I was just getting them mostly ready for this weekend's show. So this is kind of like a pre-show.
Here's a pre-show. We will be having these. Azalea will have these.
Everybody's seeing those. The new ones are on that tray.
For our show at the Arboretum. Here's this.
I'm making a stained glass one right now. It's a rainbow. It's going to be awesome.
Look at these. Aren't these pretty? This pattern is still one of my favorites. And this is really beautiful. That has a kind of a Victorian vibe.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. And a simple flower.
So if you have any interest in these, you can comment, or you can, we'll keep an eye out to see.
This is my current one. You want to show this one? I can steer it in there.
Okay, pass it over.
Stuff in there.
Sherry says, I love the old crystals. Yeah, Wendy says, those will sell like hotcakes.
Oh, thanks.
I hope so. Oh, this is the stained glass one I was working on. So she's starting with a dark red at the bottom. Looks like a shift to orange and then yellow. I'm excited to see how this comes out. I bet it'll be really cool. And I think, is that a kind of a matte finish bead there, that black?
The black is matte, and then the colors are going to be more see-through. So it's going to be like, stained glass for real.
And so these were at a price point of, tell me again, 30-ish, 30?
Yeah, most of them are at 30. The big ones are 35. And then this one's probably going to be a little bit more like 35 since there's so many colors going into it. I'm doing a 9-color range or 9-color range on this one.
Oh, nice. So the price is right on these. If you want to get a gift for someone, you can make them where there's a chain added to make it fit a variety of sizes. And they're finished nicely. Look how professional she finished them. Look at that. Looks real tidy. Real tidy.
Thanks.
Good job. Good job. I like how this has those Miyuki beads. Not those Miyuki Japanese seed beads.
Yeah.
They look like little perfect little mosaics. Good job, daughter. Good job. Yeah, I like how that one came out. Oh, Connie says, those are all so beautiful. And then I see a comment. Connie Crawford says, Azalea is so talented, amazing.
Oh, Cherie, to make them even more Victorian, you can add 3 bead picos on the edge. I actually did that on this one.
Oh, yeah, let's see it.
This is my first one recently. That was like my first one to do. And then, I was actually thinking about doing that on that one.
3, yeah.
On the green one with the rose, I was actually going to get some size 15 seed beads and do
maybe even that'd be pretty smart, or in like a gold would be pretty, or silver.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's the colors that I have in those tiny beads, but they look the best when they're small ones doing pico.
Yeah, I like how they're so iridescent. Like that shine that they have. It's beautiful work.
Thank you.
You should see that. There's a friend of mine that does. Where's she out of? Floor. You guys know Floor Casper? I can't think of her last name. Seed bead artist that makes kind of sculptural seed bead things. It's they're like in museums, so it's a little bit different work. Kind of like sculptural pieces. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thanks.
That one's still a favorite. I still think it's so pretty.
Thank you. I can make one for you.
Oh,
with your
thank
colors
you.
that you like, if you like that pattern.
Yeah, isn't that pretty, you guys? Look at that color one. I favor this one. I keep looking at it because it's labradorite colors. Has a beautiful texture.
You can have it.
Oh, thank you.
Does it have a chain attached or clasp? It has just it is a chain. Maybe it has the magnet. Oh yeah, that one has to have the chain shortened.
I like a magnet.
The magnet's the easiest. I just need to shorten the chain because it's a bit big.
Very nice.
Thanks.
All right, let's do something. Okay, so one of the things I have going here, one idea. So Ann and I were talking the other night, hey, what's a good way to finish these? What's a fast way to finish these crochet necklaces? Because listen, I have a bunch to finish. And I usually finish them. Here's one way that I do it. Morphing design. I think my fave is the scroll. Yeah, I would say it's a beautiful combo. I saw several people that make those types of bracelets, and I really like the ombre effect. So I usually finish these pieces pretty simply with a crocheted ending, or not crocheted, I meant macrame ending. And it is, for me, it's pretty fast. It's not as fast as some of the other things. And says, show what you don't sell, Azalea. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can do that. Thanks.
Oh, one of them. Here's one of her things that she has here.
That's a different thing.
She's got this little beadwork patch.
That was going to be
embroidery.
No, that was actually on its own before I added the felt afterwards.
Oh,
the whole
that's pretty
thing
smart.
Can go standalone. I just added the back because I wanted to wear it as a pendant, but it was not super like a stiff.
Flimsy, I see.
It was kind of floppy. It was sturdy, but it was a little floppy, like as it would be for beadwork. So I added that to back it up.
And that's good. You could do the felt feels pretty nice.
Thanks. I was actually thinking about giving this one to Alex. Maybe.
So my usual finishing is like this. And it's just, I feel like, number one, I already have a kind of a little bit of a heavy button. So the more weight you add to it, the more it wants to go into the front of your neck. It goes down to the bottom, I guess. This is a mixed sapphires. These are all different kinds of colorful sapphires. Okay, what I see. Oh, Wendy says, my favorite too, I'd take one if you're making more. What's the length of those smaller bracelets? How do they fit on your wrist, Azalea? Loose, show it with your hand, pop in here and show one of them.
I can do custom ones of any length.
Yeah, did you hear that, Wendy? She can make it for you.
Yeah, if you measure your wrists, I can make one for you with a magnetic clasp, whatever length that you like. Here's I don't have mine in here that I was wearing. I think I left it in my room. But they I can make them any size.
I made this one unfortunately a little too short, and it does not want to fit tightly on my wrist. It's too, like, look how short I made this. At first I made it way too long, and then I cut it down, and then I was like, why did I do it I needed just like another inch. But sometimes, you know how sometimes you get goofy. These are the smoked opals. I think we talked about that. Like they're like white opals, or like clearish opals, but then they do this treatment called smoking, and they put them in a chamber, and it's just exactly what it sounds like. They're exposed to heat and the smoke itself, and it can soak into parts of the opal, and it's permanent. It doesn't come off. I was like, are you sure it doesn't come off? And they were like, at Gem Club, they showed me how you can cut it. So it goes all the way through to the other side, which was kind of strange. I at first didn't believe it, and I was like, yeah, no, it doesn't sound legit. But when you stand there and watch them do it, then you can't really argue. So, and plus that none of the ones that I did have come off, so it seems pretty stable as far as treatments go. It didn't seem like that's one that I mind. Okay, so this one's a pretty long one. It's really long. And I did not finish this at all. So this is one that has not been finished. Oh, Wendy says, gosh, that opal one, gorgeous. Oh, and then Wendy says, cool, yeah, I have a smallish wrist. Yeah, I seem to recall, Wendy, you have very small, delicate wrists. So delicate. So here's another way we were talking about. So Anne, you'd said, hey, can you use a crimp? I went to my collection of crimps. I have a bunch of different sizes, and I found these silver ones, and I put this on, and I thought, hey, this might work. So here's what I did. I put that on there. I have not crimped it yet. So we're going to do this together and see if it actually, how it works, and see if it looks good. More importantly, will it look good? We're adding the extra weight. So on this side, it's not that, that's very minimal. But what you could do, if you like this finish, I think it looks cute. You could add chain. So I'm thinking I have already brought out this little thing here. And this is the same class that I did with this mixed chain. All the different little pieces of scrap chain. This like scrap chain necklace. This happens to be one of my new favorites. I made this for Azalea's necklace, but it works great. So I'm going to use this one on this necklace here. And we're going to experiment and see how it looks with crimps. Oh, I see our friend Donna. Hey, Donna. Friend Donna Conklin, a lady that knows how to do many, many different things. Many different things. You have so many skills, Donna. Donna makes glass beads. You have an embroidery machine that you're good at making those embroidered patches. And candles. I've seen you make candles. What else? I've seen you make a lot of things. So this one's tucked in there tight. I'm going to open it a little bit because it's very tightly. So cast silver is really hard. I opened it up a hair. Just make sure that thing fits on there. It'll fit. I can get it to fit, no problem. But I'm going to do it gently. It might be a nightmare if it broke. Nah, not that really. Look at that. It's not good. Okay. That should be plenty. Get in there, you. Don't make me fight. We're just checking this, by the way. And these are little round, they're 3D little balls. It's not, I don't like to make it where the things really easily open up. That's why I'm making it. I'm only opening it by teeny little increments because I don't like it when it's like gaping open. I don't want my stuff to fall apart. I like there to be a tiny bit of resistance. And that way, if it falls off, you're kind of aware of it falling off. Okay, here we go. I think that looks pretty good. Ann says, are you producing those hooks yet? I can make them for you. Donna says, I have a new candle flavor, patchouli musk. Tell me more. Tell me more. You know what? I'm hunting for more of those opals. The guy that I usually get them from, he didn't have them this time.
Candle flavor.
That sounds good, Donna. Patchouli musk. I love that story.
That makes me laugh whenever somebody says like something, a perfume or a candle or something scented has a
taste instead of
when
a
they
smell.
say flavor. That
well, you're essentially tasting it. Your olfactory senses are right all close together. All right, so I'm going to clamp that down and see if we can make this look good. I'm going to get in there a little tighter so you can see everything. All of the action. Good and bad. I can take orders. I saw that the price of silver has gone down, so that's a good and relieving story. It was down to 82 when I last looked. Down from like 117 or 107, something in that range. But I was like, you know what? And here's just my thoughts. You know, you have to take this like I'm some sort of expert in investing in silver. But if you're a refiner, and a refiner, y'all know, is if you have scrap and you're going to send your stuff off to be melted down and they sell it to you for just under spot, which is the price per ounce. And they're like, I'm not taking it. We're not changing it out. And that's kind of a cue to you to hang on to your stuff. Don't change your prices. Don't do anything yet because it's going to drop again. And it did drop. It doesn't drop all the way down to, I think, a more manageable amount. But when they start buying the silver again and, you know, buying scrap, and you're like, okay, it's evened out. All right, so that's my plan. We're going to put that there, and we're going to see how it looks. So this is a super long necklace. Could be, you know, actually, if I'd say super long, it's not super duper. It's pretty long. I don't make them as long as I used to. One because I broke one because I got hung on a door hook. That was because it was practically down to my belt. So I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that again. I was able to fix it, but, you know, for practicality, or if you doubled it, would be comfortable. So I'm going to put that there, one side. Here's another solution. We talked about these. I ripped this off of something else. This is like those little knot covers. They're open up like a little clamshell, and they come open like this. And then once you put it over top of your knot, you cover it, you clamp them down. And those are good. But you know what? I've had some that kind of look close. I've had some of them pull apart, and that's why I want to use them. But they probably make them better. You know, you could probably get better ones. These are kind of a little bit open. Shuri says 90.5 for silver right now. I think it'll go down more even than that. That's just my thoughts because I don't know. Is it really a shortage? Is it? Because I mean, it's not a shortage in my house because I find silver all the time.
Not a shortage in my house.
No shortage in my house, but of course, then I have to figure out, like, is it silver? All right, so here's what I'm going to try and do. I don't want these to cross on the inside, so I'm going to put where I can see it. And I'm going to try the technique of where I make this into a little column instead of the most secure, I feel like, is if you just go and you smash it flat and it makes a little, like a postage stamp. And it's the most secure because nothing falls out of it. Although, if you do it too tight, like I've done this, where I have too over-enthusiastically squeezed crimp, where I squeeze it so good that I actually cut the nylon thread. It was like scissors. So don't do that because I was like, why did I do that to me? So you don't have to do it that hard. So my goal, I like it. I don't really have anything square on here, and it kind of bugs me if it's square and it's, I don't know. I was going to say, where's that one bracelet I was wearing? I don't see it here. What's this? Anne says, have you heard of Rosie Revolver? She is a metalsmith and had a post about a cheaper way to get silver, but you had to be able to melt it down and turn it into ingots, which I'm pretty sure you guys could do. I will send you the link. Thank you. That's nice. I do that. Data centers are eating it up. Takes a ton to run that stuff. That's one of the many reasons I despise AI with the passion of 1,000 suns. It's actually gotten me where I don't know. I don't want to say that I've lost friends over it, but it has strained relationships. Let's just say that has strained some.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to kick it out of our. If anybody in here, if y'all are in the Greengirlstudios gang Facebook group, you'll have noticed for sure that there's like a mandatory AI assistant feature in there that I can't turn off. I can reduce it as much as I can, like, making it where, because it's like, oh, how should I answer questions like this? And I've just been typing like literal nonsense into it to mess it up as much as possible so it can't even be functional. And I probably gave it a slightly rude name too, but ignore that because I'm trying to get rid of it. We don't do AI at Green Girl. We hate stuff like that.
Okay, now I smashed it down. You can see here one side of the leg is on here on this. You can see that little bump, and the other side. So now it's like a little sandwich. And that's what you want. You don't want it to be crossed on the inside, because if it crosses on the inside, boy, it just comes right out. So I'm going to flatten the whole thing. This is where I like, sometimes if you don't have good crimps, your crimps can then just open right there. So we're doing this together with this, and we'll see if it opens up. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm going to put my glasses on extra appetizers. Shit. Let's see what I see here. Wendy says, I've used the clamshell to glue it in and then clamp it down. I've had cramps slip out too often. I haven't tried these with this, so we'll see if it looks good and if I can get it where it doesn't, if it doesn't just open it right up. But I see, yeah, that's happened to me too. That's why I use the other, like the method of just crochet, or I keep saying crochet instead of macrame, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. All right, that's not too, that actually looks pretty good. Now I have this to contend with, so we'll just macrame that business tight on and make it look tidy. Let's see, is that tight in there? Let me see if I need to get closer. Oh, I don't even have a light on with this. There we go. I think it should be a little bit brighter. Yeah, there you go. I was like, oh, the light. Oh, and just a reminder, we still collect names from the end and do giveaways. So we do that by comments. So if you would like to be included in that, drop comments in, share, like, all that stuff goes towards it. It helps raise the signal of our group here.
Our last winners were Cecilia Rage and Debbie Barnett. So our last people that won when we did this before.
Yeah, they're our last winners. So we will choose for this day. Okay, and I'm just doing little macrame stitches here to kind of thicken up and make the transition. I don't like to just cut it and glue it because I think that transition is too sharp of a dip. Like it goes from kind of a thick thing to half the size. So I like to make this transition a little smoother. Oh, Anne says, I like that. I wonder if you had a little glue under the crimp, if that would make it a little more durable. I think so. Well, it's not going to come out. The way that it would break is if you accidentally were too aggressive with your crimp and the crimp kind of seesawed the metal. So I was trying to make sure, hey, hopefully this isn't going to make it where it's too like chopping into the nylon. Of course, you can use whatever fiber you have. We've talked about this before. If you have hemp works, silk works, cotton works, pretty much anything. I prefer to use nylon because I don't have stretch, and that to me is pretty good. I don't like my things to stretch out, and it's pretty durable. I've used Kevlar. That stuff is good, but man, is it really tough to cut. All right, almost. I usually like, if I'm gonna wrap to the next bead, that's a good way to hide your knot. Hide it right there. These are little CZs on this necklace. These little orange ones right here. Isn't that cute, these tiny orange ones? Okay. Oh, thanks, Pat. Pat says, remember to like or heart the presentation too. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wendy says, and I'd worry that most of the glue oozes out and show on the thread. Hard to get that out. Yes, that's not that easy. All right, so I went and I went around like a wrapped knot. I think it's called a half hitch. I can't remember what that kind of knot is called. And went to the first one here. And I did a couple little knots right there to anchor it. Now I'm going to trim it off and just melt it. So let me find one of those scissors. You get a lighter over there?
Time to get into lock-in position.
Got it. Like everything gets quiet. I'm like, all right, y'all, I gotta concentrate. Oh, you're too over enthusiastic. My nightmare is to burn through. It's not the end of the world if you burn through. You could just pick. You just have to pick back and rip back to like here, and then you can add another. You can add on more. So that's a way I've figured out how to repair if you've made a mess. So that kind of looks a little clumsy. Sometimes what I'll do is do this, just kind of straighten it out a little bit, and just smash it a little bit with pliers, just to even out your knots. All right, so there's one. Test it, testing, and roll it around and see how it looks. Okay, what do you think? Tidy. Let's look at the whole full. There we go. There's the right there. So pretty good. So let's do the other side now. Sometimes I will take my necklaces and hang them and get them a little bit wet. It's almost like wet draping. So if you want to get rid of, if you don't like this action where it's like this, kind of like round or like curly, you can. Wendy says very clean. Ann says very tidy. And Wendy says, I think I smell flesh. Not with these talons. No. This is like fireproof by this point. Now look at all that action. A lot of texture. A lot of kind of different shapes and colors. This one came out pretty good. All right, let's see. Okay, so this one I didn't finish off yet. So sometimes I'll do that if I want to have an adjustable amount to add to my loop. But in this case, I'm just going to finish it off. Let me see if I want to do that. If I want to add this. So I could. This is not an open hole at the end of this. It's closed, meaning I can't just open it and like a jump ring. So I have to make a decision if I'm going to put another one of those, because you could have it where it's like this, and then do one of, so this necklace, boy, this is old. I got this at Church Street Station in Orlando, Florida, like 1986 or something, however long ago. And this is the clasp on it. This is a little wire doohickey here. Double, I guess they call it a double shepherd's hook. So if you have one of these handy, you could make these pretty simply, but anymore, I was going to say it's probably not that too expensive. But you know what? When we saw some of the prices that Terry had sent me from Tucson, one of them, and I had to show Zoe. I was like, "Are they joking me right now? What is it? $8 a gram for ear hooks, for sterling ear hooks?" I was like, "This is getting ludicrous." So you could do that by putting that one. You see what I mean? Like you put that right between, and that's pretty nice. But we don't need to add weight, so I don't need to add that. Where'd that one go? Let me see what Wendy says. If there's more of those cool shaped oval hole in the middle red ones at Tucson, I'd love them. What is that talk? Let's see. And Connie says, I wear my crochet necklace so much, made from your gemstones, wearing it as bracelets, my fave. I get a lot of compliments, I will say that. And whenever my friends, they say, what do you want for your birthday? Sometimes they're like, I didn't know a necklace. I feel like making one for me. All right, done.
It's cute.
It's pretty
You
cute.
make them you very, very pretty and whimsical work.
Oh, I didn't plug this off yet. Gotta do that. Oh, why is it hard? I didn't have my optivisors. Wendy, tell me what more of those cool red, the stones that are crochet necklace. Let me see, more cool shaped oval hole in the middle red ones. Where's this? Oh, you mean these garnets? I probably actually have more of these. This? Maybe I do. I can check my, I stocked up super hard on those. I love them. Oh, hello, Melanie. Melanie says, hi, girls. I'm Marty.
Honey. He's so cute. You could turn the camera back right now and it'd be in perfect optimal viewing position of his face. Because he looks so cute.
All right, what happened here? I got a little bit, there was a little bit of, shoot. I was over enthusiastic and pulling this, so I have to kind of give it another, the knot got twisted, so I'm going to have to just pick this a second. Ugh. I hate it when I do that. I didn't see it. I was like, why isn't it pulling? I pulled too soon without looking closely at my work. So now I have to look at it like this and say, hey, I double knotted it and then pulled, but I wasn't ready for the double knot. Here we go. Almost. I was like, why did I do that? Because I didn't have my optivisors on. Wear your optivisors. Everyone should wear their optivisors.
You need to get sponsored.
I should get sponsored. Listen, wear your optivisors. Trust me, because listen, I make small work. I'm an expert at small work, and you want to save your eyes. No need to sit there and squint when you can see clearly. And, I also have a pair of those Craft Optics, but they're kind of heavy, and they go right on top. They sit right on my nose bridge. I don't know if it's because I have a slightly wide nose bridge, but I don't love it. They kind of give me a headache, so... Optivisors are basically a headband, and you can wear glasses under them, which I sometimes do if I really want to get in there.
You have the Filipino nose bridge.
All right, so I didn't dab any glue, but you could potentially put glue in there, but it's not glue that's going to stop it. You know what I mean? Glue is not going to. I think the thing that you would try to prevent is. Let me see, would that slip over that? I don't know if it would or not. I don't think it would. Let me see let's try a little bit different way where I tie it up and put the crimp over top of my knot. Let's see how that looks. You think that'd look good? We're going to do it another way. We're going to try that and then see if it looks even tidier that way without that kind of has a little tiny bit of a bump right here. Let's see if we can eliminate that with tying first and then crimping. I'm going to do a couple stitches. Although this might make it where I can't see the legs, and if the legs are twisted, so maybe this is not the way. Let's see. I just did a couple stitches
Look at
there.
this through the light.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, you did that so fast. You're so good at that.
Thank you.
You guys, check this out.
Stained glass, baby. I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna do actually a whole collection of stained glass.
Look at this, you guys.
Cathedrals.
Isn't that pretty?
It's
Wow.
even better when you hold it up to the light because the black is opaque.
Oh, it
If you had a
probably
light
looks
underneath
like.
it.
Oh well, guess what? I have this little light. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's like a stained glass window. I'm a big fan of this right now. I'm exactly at the halfway point. It's almost done. My bracelets are an average of 4.5 to 5 inches long, and then I add like a 2-inch chain, so then it's like a little bit. It can fit up to 7-inch wrist, which is not as common. I think 6 inches is the average.
Everybody likes it.
Thank you.
Sherry says, "Wow, Azalea," and Connie says, "So pretty."
Thanks. It's almost done. Maybe I can finish it before the end of the live.
Oh, Ann says, "Make earrings." Gosh, that's a good one because then
Yeah, that's what Jamie said.
earrings-
She said they did brick stitch earrings.
because that looks really good. And then if you have your hair up, the light will peek
If I
through
did
that.
brick stitch, I could literally make them have the window taper at the top.
Oh wow, I love that story. Yeah, that's actually a really pretty idea.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna close this puppy up here. Okay, you guys, let's all hold our breath together. Pretty and quick. Good job. Everybody loves it. Debbie Smith says, "Love it, Azalea." And Nilda Roman says, "That's pretty and quick. Love it."
Thanks. My own pattern. Concentration time.
Like no talking. No talking. Okay, did I mess that one up? It's usually I'll do one side perfectly, and the other side looks like it got chewed on. All right, so far so good. Did not mess it up, thankfully. All right, let's go down here and do this. One thing that I like to do also that I've made, if it needs something, like if you're like, this passage through here is kind of boring, you can always add a jump ring with a little bead on it to add little dangles, which is one of my favorite things to do. Kind of gives it that sort of boho chic, It looks like it's like charms hanging from like a jacket or something. It gives it that same feeling. What is this stitch called that I'm doing, daughter? Do you know the names of these things? It's just a knot going all the way down to.
It looks.
It's I can't remember the name of it.
Well, in friendship bracelet making, that's a backwards knot.
But but when you do it a lot, what's it called? When you do a passage open, what's that called? Because there's a name for it. I think it's called a cover.
Oh yeah, I've never heard that before. I just know I know that this friendship bracelet, they'll do that to make the beginning and endings of their bracelets. I was making those a bunch, but those are extremely time consuming.
Oh yeah, it's very time consuming.
Like they're beautiful and they're cheap to make. Like because embroidery floss you can get for like 50 cents, but they are definitely very time consuming doing each knot to follow that pattern, and if you mess up you are cooked. Undoing that, you need a needle and optimizers and all sorts of stuff to get those knots undone because I knot very tightly because I don't like them coming undone. I've made friendship bracelets, like lots of them, but this is making it with beads is way more fun. But on the flip side, it's a little bit more expensive because the beads are more pricey. But
that's true.
That's just everything has its up and down.
That's for sure. I've heard a lot of people talking to me. It's been the topic of conversation is silver, and it's like, I use a lot of silver in small amounts. Like nowadays it used to be it's like the bulk of the thing because it used to be the least expensive and the gemstone here where the price was high, and now it's kind of like both are a little on the high end. We notice like a lot of the prices on things, and some folks have said, oh, it's because of getting things into the States right now is kind of expensive with how much they're charging for the shipping containers. So we noticed that. So Tucson next year is going to probably be, hopefully, like prices will kind of level out. But we did notice, like silver particularly. For those that resell, a friend of ours does flea markets and shows like Marlburger where they're out like for 2 weeks long, you know. And they almost make me think of like Burning Man. Some of these things are so crazy. I mean, not in the scale, but like just in the length. I think. Not that I've been, it's what I imagine. I guess it has nothing to do with that. Why did I even say that? I don't even know. It's in the desert, that's why. That's the closest.
Went through the whole cycle of.
It's nothing like that, except
Cringing
it's in the desert.
It's like, oh, that's not really anything like it. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I went through the cycles of grief.
It's
What?
only close in that it's in a dusty, dry part of the world.
Dusty and.
So dusty. Oh, Wendy says, didn't you do that stitch or similar? Yes, it's the same thing. It's only one stitch. One stitch. Half hitch. I think it's called half hitch. That sounds very familiar.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You know, some of the names of the stitches.
The different knots and stuff.
We were just talking about
knitting
stitches not an hour before. And some of that stuff, I tell you, one thing I get really annoyed with is when people will create a pattern and then call a common stitch something else.
And then you have to refer, like, if you're lucky, they will have they will have an index at the beginning or end of their pattern being like, this is how you do it. And then you're like, wait a minute, this is actually this stitch, and you just named it something whack. And then you're like,
Oh, Melanie, if you have any pewter, Greg is on his own with casting. We have our friend Will coming over to help grind, but pewter's on the rise. You guys have probably realized with the price of silver going up, every other metal, copper, tin, everything else gets a big boost, including pewter. So we've been pretty slammed. Everything goes like dead quiet when I do that because it's like I'm not burning that. Well, I have this little gap here. This would be a perfect place to put some kind of jump ring, or you can put something in there. Or I have these. Some of these aren't soldered closed, like these guys here. Some of these have they're just a tube. And you could pop those over top of it if you felt like it. Yeah, here we go. This one might fit. Or this one. Just open it if you wanted to put that on there. And it'd be kind of nice. But no necessity. All right, let's check it out and see how it looks. All right, so this piece, let's see how the full look, completed look. I'm going to open this up a little more. Wi-Fi it. I was just doing it in like hair increments, and now I'm like, all right, I'm done with that. We're gonna get this thing open. Just gently. I might have opened it too much. Like either too much or too little. Okay, I'm gonna close it a little bit. It's so big. Okay. Is it perfect or not perfect? Oh. It's like you got to really shimmy it out just right. But I don't like it to be like where it's like loosey-goosey. Or one easy movement and it's undone. So that's how this looks. How do you guys feel about that? kind of weird, or do we like it? What's the thought process here? I like it. There's a little bit of a detail on the back side of this silver. We could make an order and find out. I don't think, even with the prices as they are, I don't think those will be too crazy. I'd have to weigh it and see. Probably not too terribly crazy. But maybe we wait on seeing when silver kind of evens out, because it's not so crazy to buy it when it's like over $100 an ounce. Let me see how many times I can wrap this one. I think 5 times. A magnet on that would be kind of nice too. If you like to wear them where they're wrapped around your wrist, I think the best option for that is a small magnet clasp. So then it's super easy to take on and off.
Oh yeah, I love a magnet.
So you could actually do 2 of these guys, because I think that looks pretty, and then do a magnet clasp in between. We have some here that are really small. Let me see it. Show me that one little itty bitty one. Do you have one handy or not? If you don't have one, it's no big deal.
Oh, I don't have them right here. I have the whole box right there, but one of my bracelets might have it.
Nilda says, I like it. Nice work. Love it. Good. Pamela says, I like it. Nice, clean. Oh, Abby says, love that you showed how to finish one. I've shown how to finish them different times, but the main one you guys have seen me finish is like this. Like this kind of basic crochet. Although this one, forgive me, I don't know what I was thinking about, and I may redo this because look how horrendous. What was I thinking about when I did that? Like, it's like the biggest, thickest clump. Oh, just looking at that makes me want to redo it right now. But I might just redo the whole thing because I love the color, but I hate how short I made it. At first, it was too long. It's like, what am I thinking about here? Yeah, sometimes it works out, sometimes not so much. Let's see, this one, I love to finish them with these stars. It's my favorite way. Let's see if I have a different one. This came out good. This is knotted with, if you can see this. Sherry says, Vice Pres said he would like to see a base price for natural resources so we might not have volatility. Yeah. Abby says, yes, but I need to see it lots of times. I know, I see it. And Wendy says, love those magnetic clasps, except when the magnetic sticks to my tools. Yeah, I hear that. Debbie Smith says it looks good, so it's good times. All right, I was covering that up with my thumb while I was reading. This is one way that I like to finish these guys up, but I have knotted a loop of seed beads. These are little sterling hill tribe beads. That adds a little bit of weight to the other side. So this is kind of a cross between a treasure necklace, the heavy-duty treasure necklace. This is knotted. Takes a little bit of time to make this, though, because you are knotting in between each one. So, oh, yeah, it kind of looks like a heart, but it's a little lightning bug. It's the shape of a lightning bug. And this one was kind of fun because I used that French wire. So that one came out. See this? French wire, you can see it through the top right there. And let me see, look at my optivisor. So I have 2 small silver beads. Can you see them there? And a little bit of French wire right across, protecting that thread. So on this case right there, it kind of blends in. You can see it. It might wear down to a brass color over time, but so far the plating has held up pretty nice. If it is plated, I can't tell if it is or not. And it doesn't say on the package, it says silver color. So it might be tin based, you never know. So anyway, that's how that one looks finished, and I think it's pretty good. One thing I've noticed is if you're going to make a loop closure, one thing you want to do is make sure that the toggle side, or the side with the button, is on there pretty securely, kind of snug, if you would, because then if it's too loose, it flops. And I've redone a couple of necklaces because of that. Anyway, we didn't even get to this. We didn't even get to the necklace making because I was too busy showing the different ways. This is the Gaia's Treasures. If you have pewter in your order and you still haven't received this, That's because pewter has been off the hook lately, and we've had people ask for things to be shipped together. So that is the reasoning behind that. But this is my collection of the leftover guys' treasures. I just seen, like, look at that goodie right there. This will probably make 3 necklaces, I estimate. Like, this is about how much I'd use. So for $100 for gemstones, sapphires, black opals, praisiolite, prehnite, what else is in there? Ruby, sapphire, spinel. That's actually a steal. So, especially with today's prices going the way they are. Anyway, I'm in love with this, and I can't wait to see what people do. There's some of these praisiolite that have kind of crazy drilling, you know, and shapes. Like this one is so weird. I was like, how would you use this except in a pendant? It's a really beautiful, clean piece. When I bought a sample of this, it grows in little nodules, like kind of like how this looks. That praisiolite, but they're growing like a big bubble, like it's bursting, just like growing out of this, but this color and kind of frosty. That's what it looks like in its natural form. I had a couple pieces and I was carrying around in my pocket. It looked like that cartoon character, the Shmoo from the 80s. I don't know if you guys remember that, the Shmoo. It was like a pale green Shmoo. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up, but we'll work with this on Sunday. How about that? Or we could do another one of these. Ann and I were talking about, hey, let's finish one of those. So I thought, hey, I'll finish one that I have in a different way, and that one actually looks pretty good. So I usually finish it like this. This will, since it's personal, I'm going to redo it because every time I look at it, I cringe. Because I'm like, I'm supposed to be an expert, and I made that big hot glue bubble on the back. It's not hot glue, but it kind of looks like it to me, even though it's not. I was like, way to make treasure into trash.
We're turning treasure into trash today, folks.
Yeah, we're going to take something that looks really good and trashing it up. So here's that one button. So it's kind of similar, but you don't need, if you look close, I've done just those half hitch knots. So this is one option. It's light, but you can also do this. And I feel like that's not too bad.
Maybe just got up and looked at what you were doing and then got comfortable again.
Yeah, that's what Shmoo. Sure, you remember the little ghost guy with the whiskers. Yeah, he could take any shape. Ann says, time for another lucky dip. Can't beat the variety. Abby says, I'm so in love with the praisiolite. I got 2 pieces. Wendy said, I didn't get much of those bigger pieces in my guys because I got the tube. Mine was one of the first, and realized the tins were easier. They were easier. They are pretty nice. Let's see. Abby says, I crocheted my first Gaia dip necklace today. I want to see it. And Wendy says, still beautiful, but now I have so many teeny beads and we'll really need help with crochet ingredients that teeny. You just come over. Come over and we'll make some stuff. I use the teeny ones for this. That's what I do. I think they look good. Maybe I shouldn't have wound this up so tight. This one's majority teeny, especially through here. I think it looks really beautiful, especially when you can get it in a shift. If you get a good color shift, it looks really elegant. And I love them in this one. That's probably my favorite. I might keep that one because the spinel came out so good. Melanie says, I'm so jelly. I can't wait for mine. And Sheree says, pretty necklaces. Thank you. I have a bunch of them. I need to price them. It's on my list of things to do for the event because I have a big old stack and they for sure need prices. There's probably 12 here that I have not priced and different sizes. Yeah, look at this one. This is a shorty. Look how cute this is with the different sizes on it. It could be wet draped. Pretty nice. The beads stand out on the blue. That is true. And Wendy, you don't have optimizers yet. You need to get yourself prepared because it's good. It'll save you. It'll save everything because you'll be able to see in such detail. Oh, this is a necklace. I haven't seen this one yet. This is one I know. I was like, I'm keeping it because this is from the pearl dip. Remember when we had that pearl lucky dip? This is from
Pearls.
that. Heavenly Pearls. Remember that? That's what this is. And it looks outstanding. This is, it got put into the keeper box. All right, my friends. Well, I am going to continue on. I have a bunch of them that I need to price, but oh, that's Mama. Mama's phone. I'll call her
You
right
didn't
back.
get your phone?
I forgot to mute my phone. See, my mom's calling. So I'm going to go and chat with my mom. I'm going to show one last one. This was on thicker. The thicker right here. And look how cute the alligator looks with it. Isn't that cute? So cute. And the thicker beads, I can't remember which one this one was. This is one that we did with, this looks like pink and green. I have to look at the different dips. This is one of our dips that I made. And I'm using a smaller, like a thicker cord with that. So you can, you know, the thicker has just a different look, I think, for sure, without question, because it's a little sturdier. You can get away with a little heavier button. That's one I finished too. These had nice big holes with that pink spinel that I kept thinking, man, they're so saturated in color. I think they're dyed. And then when I looked at them in the light, they were not dyed. I was so happy. And so these all need their prices except that. That's mine. All right. Sherry says, alligator looks quite snappy. Yes. And Wendy, you are correct. It needs much bigger holes. These have nice big holes too for this necklace. And I used the color shift amber, and look how pretty this came out. And this is on a bigger, thicker cord. And I made a really long one. So it looks really good layered or doubled. They glow. Can't really tell in this light, but they have a really beautiful kind of almost lit within look. And when you have a nice hole drill, I think this was almost 1 millimeter easily. So you could pass through different thicknesses of cord, like one cord usually. If you get 2 in there, then that's a good one for knotting. You do a double knot. And I have a bronze button on this one. Kind of goes with those warm tones. And it was a very, very fast one. Super fast to make this. Caroline says, is green amethyst similar to the praisiolite? Yes. Green amethyst is praisiolite. It's just the trade name for it. Prehnite is a little bit different. Prehnite, there's also prehnite in that kit. Let's see. The prehnite is a little bit kind of foggy, if that makes sense. It's almost milky, like milk glass. So if you were to look at the two, like this is the praisiolite, green amethyst. This is the prehnite. Let me see. And it has almost, it reminds me of milk glass. Still very sparkly, but a little bit of hint of a pale sea foam. You can see it on the edge when you look at it like this. See there? There you get that glimmer of the green. It's very beautiful. It's a nice lot of green tones. Yeah, I can't wait. After we hang up, and work on that. Beautiful that looks. All that black opal. Yeah, that was like 6 strands of black opal in that mix. It's so good. Kind of a pricey mix, but I love it. I think it came out really nice. All right, my friends. Oh, hello, Zakaya. I see that. Oh, thank you, Neil. I love your crochet necklaces. Yes, indeed. Okay, I'm going to flip this camera around. Let's see what's going on here. All right, let's move all the lighting out of the way. Yeah, these are the Optivisors. So you tell they last for forever. This is from My very first pair. That's how long I've had them, from like easily 20 years. And they're exactly the same, except for where I tried to spray paint them with spray paint that was not for plastic. It was just like plain spray paint. Don't do that. Guess what? It won't stick to this, because whatever plastic that they use for this is it's not compatible. One good thing I will say, see how it goes around your head? You can put your glasses on, so if you want to get in there and look at, so I got my glasses on. So these are 1.5, I think. So then you can put this over and listen, you can see so much stuff you probably didn't even want to see. You can see. So it's good for looking at a lot of close work. Or if you want to look at something and you're trying to figure it out, like I found this in my cabinet, this little trees, and this is so cute. So cute. And I didn't remember how I did it. So putting my optivisors on makes it where you're like, oh, that's right. I can figure it out again. So much easier. So yeah, if you do get a pair, there's some that are from China. I would say buy the ones. They might be $75 for the kit, but they're USA made, so support American stuff. It's not that much more, and they'll last you till you die. And then someone else will inherit them, so it's good to buy them. All right, let's see what we have going on here. I see a lot of things happening, and I was busy talking about optivisors. Abby, first thing I do is separate all the beads when I get my dip and string them to enjoy all the colors. No, you're not crazy. Sometimes to relax, I do sort beads. I will go downstairs. This is something Greg and I will stand there and we'll sort. Because we have hundreds of designs of pewter. We'll definitely sort them. They have to be sorted. So we do that sometimes. Oh, sure. Yeah. Sure says Marty's done with us. He's like, I'll turn around right now. Wendy says, jealous Connie, I wanted to come and now I just got a stomach bug yesterday. We should have a little get together on a weekend when we can just hang out and go to. We've been going to. I haven't been there since the last time we went, Connie. The auction house. It's 2 stories with several. You can get Mexican. You can get. I think it's like a fish fry on the lower level and a sandwich or burger place. So it's like 4 different kinds of food, and it's wide open and plenty of light. And I was like, this is perfect for a show. I was like, listen, Joanne, maybe we need to hit these guys up and tell them they need to do a holiday market in here or just a regular market. Let's see. I'm behind on some of these. 2, slow credit, not 2. Another Dawn Production says, hi, everybody. I'm so bummed I got here late. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight, y'all. It's been good. It's been fun. Oh, Connie's going to see us on Saturday. Can't wait, Connie. It's been a minute. Yeah, so the weather is getting a little bit nicer. And when it's time, let's get a little get together and see the local folks that live within, 45 minutes or so. We can spend a few hours together. Maybe we'll bring all of our beadings somewhere. That auction house is nice because it had really good light and tons of tables. That's the reason I brought that up. But Asheville has so many good places to hang out. There's also that place downtown, although you have to, the S&W cafeteria, you have to park downstairs, or downtown. But yes, it'll be a good time for all. Maybe in the next month or so we can get together. We have a show this weekend, but I think we're pretty clear as far as live in-person shows. So maybe in the next couple of weeks we can have a bead together. What would we call that? If we have people say stitch along or stitch together. He's trying to help me. Oh, I see our friend Clem. Hey, Clem. Marty, let me put it in there. He's like blocking me with his big boy head. At the size of this cat. Getting your face messy. He's into it. Let's see if he'll stand on his own 2 feet. You've missed some on this side, honey. all over your whiskers. I know he's acting like he's starving, but trust me, this cat has probably never missed a meal. Maybe he's missed it when he was busy hiding for some reason. Sometimes he hides if we have any strangers. And sometimes he doesn't. Like, you know what? Joanne brought her sister over to the house to meet everyone, and he didn't hide. He didn't hide at all. He was probably like, oh, he smells like Joanne. He must match with the rest, like family members. All right, my friend. Oh, he took off the scarf. He could wipe off with it. Yeah, he would definitely use. Sometimes he'll use my face as his oh, did I get some of this chew on my cheek? He had a nice little. Shree says, we just rescued a 15-pound chomp. Well, you're not a chomp. Let's put his scarf back on for a minute. For Clem. Clem, this is what we had going on. His scarf. So dashing. You're looking good, son. You're looking real good. All right, my friends, we're going to get back to it. I have a bunch of necklaces to price for this weekend. We're doing the Little Crafty at the Arboretum this Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 6. All right, my friends. So I'm going to try and get home for Sunday and race out of there so we can have the live on Sunday night. So I will report how the show went on Sunday. All right, my friends. Oh, Wendy says he is quite the stud. Handsome boy. Yes. Beauty. Elegance. He's like, did you see him looking at the table to see what's left, if there's any more? All right, my friends, hopefully we'll have the start of a new lucky dip from our Treasures from Tucson. I did manage to score, and I don't know how much, they didn't have a ton, but we did get, why is it escaping me? Carved abalone shell that is in the brown colorway, and they look to me like they're dead stock. So dead stock means that they're not making them anymore. Just from the look of the tags, are like all chewed up and old. So I don't know. I haven't seen any new coming out in a while. So that's something to look forward to. Is I haven't had carved abalone in a minute for the flowers. I managed to get 2 or 3 different varieties. So that's something that we will probably sell in even numbers so you can make earrings if you want. All right, my friends, thank you for joining us. We love you out there, and we hope that you have a wonderful and creative rest of your week. Okay, good night, my friends.